Shalom, Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua Barakathum, to all the Akim out there, and Yahweh Shamar Alathum, Ba'Hashem Yahushua to all the Akwakim. This is the Sabbath Service, October 5th, 2024, and we'll be starting in the book of Genesis. We'll be in Genesis 27 today. We'll be in Genesis chapter 27, and we're going to be reading verses 8 through 4. So let's give a little background, let's a little bit of review. You know that we're in the time that Abraham has now died, and his son Isaac. Anybody remember what Isaac means? We know Isaac was the son of promise. Anybody remember what Isaac's name means? All right, Isaac's name has to do with laughter. And Isaac, or like joy, laughter. And he was the son of the promise. That means that the promise and the blessings would go to him. And we know that Isaac had two twins, and their names were? Remember their names? Go ahead.
Jacob and Esau.
Jacob and Esau. And Isaac had Jacob and Esau by his rib, Rebekah. And we know that the two, somebody's at the door. We know that two, what you mind? Oh, you got to throw out a cat. We know that two, Rebekah had obviously a hard pregnancy. And she inquired why her pregnancy was so hard. And it said two nations were in her womb. That means they would be separate. That means there would be two types of people. It said one would be greater than the other. The older would serve the younger. Okay? And so you know that was pretty much prophetic of what is to come. And you know that Jacob, Esau was the twin that came out first, and he looked odd because he had red hair all over. He looked pretty much like a beast. Okay? And because he was a man of the field, he was a hunter. So the Bible is painting a picture. Esau was more of a plain or perfect or complete man. And as the boys grew older, Esau sold his birthright. Okay? And Jacob, when he was coming from the field and he was faint, and then we're picking up in the story because Isaac said he was about to die, and he wanted to bless the elder son, Esau. So he told Esau to go make him his favorite meal, to go catch his favorite game and prepare it, and so he would eat, and then he would bless him. That was pretty much tradition. People would eat, like if they were making a covenant or blessing, they would eat with one another. And Rebekah heard that, and now Rebekah, knowing the prophecy, wants Jacob to receive the blessings because she knew that was the will of the Most High anyway. So we're going to pick up the story with Rebekah pretty much giving orders to Jacob of what he needs to be doing. All right, we'll read it in the Hebrew first and then in the English. Genesis chapter 27, verse 8 in the Hebrew. Wa'aita, Banya, Shammai, Baqualia, La'ashar, Anya, Matazawa, Atak, verse 9. Lak, Na'a, Al, Hataza'an, Wakwak, Laya, Masham, Shanya, Gadyaya, Izayam, Tabayam, Wa'aisha, Atam, Mata Ainyam, La Abayaka, Ka'ashar, Ahab. Verse 10. Wahaba'af, La Abayaka, Wa'akal, Ba'aibar, Ashar, Yabaraka, Lapanya, Mawafwa. Verse 11. Wayamar, Yaikwab, All, Rabakwa, Amawa, Hun, Aishawa, Akya, Ayash, Sha'ar, Wa'anakya, Ayash, Kwalak. Verse 12. Awalya, Yamashanya, Abaya, Wahayahya, Ba'ayanya wa, Kama Tha'if, Kama Tha'ithai, Wahaba Afya, Alya, Kuala, Wala'a, Baraka. Verse 13. With a Imar, Lawa, Amawa, Alya, Wakwala Lafika, Bunya, Ak, Shamai, Wakwalya, Walak, Quack, Laya. Verse 14. Wayalak, Wayaquak, Wayaba'a, La Amawa, with a Aisha, with Taisha, Amawa, Mata Ainyam, Ka Ashar, Aha, Abayawa, and that's it. All right, we're going to be reading Genesis chapter 27, 8 through 28. Chapter 27, 8 through 14. We're going to read that in the English now. Oh, shalom, sis.
Genesis chapter 27, verse 8. Now, therefore, my son, obey my voice according to that which I command thee.
All right, this is Rebecca talking, and pretty much told her son, you obeyed my voice, okay? I'm going to tell you what you need to do. Go ahead. Come.
Verse 9. Go now to the flock and fetch me from thence 2 good kids of goats. Send them back there. And I will make them savory meat for thine father, such as he loveth.
Okay, so of course Rebecca, the rib, is going to know what her husband likes. So she's telling him, listen, go make me something that I may eat. Okay, that your father may eat, that your father loves. She's going to make sure that her son pretty much gets the blessing. All right? Go ahead, verse 10.
Verse 10. And thou shalt bring it to thine father, that he may eat, and that he may bless thee before his death. Verse 11. And Jacob said to Rebekah his mother, Behold, Esau my brother is a hairy man, and I am a smooth man.
All right, so there was an obviously physical difference between them. Okay, they're describing how odd Esau looked. Esau didn't look like everybody. And he's like, this man is a hairy, it looked like a beast. Like, a caveman. He looks odd. I look nothing like him. Go ahead.
Verse 12. And my father pre-adventure will fill me, and shall seem to him as a deceiver. And I shall bring a curse upon me, and not a blessing. Verse 13. And his mother said unto him, Upon me be thine curse, my son. Only obey my voice, and go fetch me them.
So Rebecca's like, let it be upon me. Let it fall upon me if this is a wrongdoing. But Rebecca knew, okay? She knew that this was the right thing. Go ahead.
Verse 14. And he went and fetched and brought them to his mother. And his mother made savory meat, such as his father's loved.
Okay, so she knows what her husband's going to like. She knows what's going to make her husband relax. She knows what's going to make her husband pretty chill, and so that her son can receive the blessing. Excellent. All right. Let's go and keep reading. All right, we're going to be reading Genesis 27, 15 through 21. All right. Let's go ahead. We're going to read that in the Hebrew first and then in the English. Genesis 27, verse 15. With a quack, Rabakwa, Af, Bagadia, Aishawa, Bana, Hagadol, Hakamadath, Ashar, Atha, Babayath, with a Labash, Af, Ya'ikwa, Bana, Hakwatan. Verse 16. Wa'af, Irath, Gadya, Ha'izayam, Halabayasha, Al, Yadyawa, Wa'al, Kalakwath, Tazawa'aryawab. Verse 17. Wathatan, Af, Hamata'ayim, Wa'af, Halakam, Ashar, Aishata, Bayad, Yaikwa, Bana. Verse 18. Waya ba'a, all, Abba Yawa, Waya Amar, Abba Ya, Waya Amar, Hananya, Maya, Ata, Bunya, verse 19. Wayamar, Yaiqua, Al, Abba Yawa, Anakia, Aishawa, Baraka, Aishayahya, Ka'ashar, Dabarath, Alya, Qawam, Na'a, Shabbat, Wa'akolha, Matazayadya, Ba'i War, Hata Tabaraknaya, Napashka, verse 20. Wayamar, Yatazahak, Ah, Bunwan, Maha, Za, Maharath, Lamataza, Bunya, Wayamar, Kayam, Hakorah, Yahweh, Alahayaka, Lapanya, verse 21. Wayamar, Yatazahak, Al, Yaiqua, Gasha, Na'a, Ma'amashka, Bunya, Ha'ata, Za, Bunya, Aishawa, La'a, and that's it. All right, we're going to be reading Genesis chapter 27, verse 15 through 21.
Verse 15. And Rebekah told goodly remnants of her eldest son Esau, which were with her in the house, and put them upon Jacob, her younger son.
Now, you know, why would she put the garments of Jacob on why would she put the garments of Esau on Jacob? Why? Go ahead, sis. How would his father think it's him if he's wearing the garments? Isaac was pretty much blind. Okay, by feeling them, that's actually good. And probably the smell, too. You know, Esau more than likely, a man of the field, probably had a smell to his garments. You know, like a beastly, like a musty or whatever type smell was to him. Okay? So that's another thing. It was actually, sister, so probably the feel of the garments, or his garments felt, and a smell to him. Go ahead, Salaki.
Verse 16. And she put the skin of the kids of the goat upon his hand, and upon the smooth of his neck.
You gotta really think how hairy Esau was. If they're putting skins of goats, you gotta think how hairy that man was. I don't know if y'all seen the movie. I'm not saying this is an over exaggeration. Who remembers the 80s movie Teen Wolf? Remember that movie? I used to like the movie, Michael J. Fox. Well, you gotta think how much hair. And I'm not saying Esau looked like that, but that had to be a really hairy man. They're putting the skins of goats around Esau's neck. That's pretty serious. That's why he was so odd looking. Go ahead.
Verse 17. And she gave the savory meat and the bread, which she had prepared unto the hand of his son Jacob. Verse 18. And he came to his father and said, My father. And he said, Here I am, I who art thou, my son? Verse 19. And Jacob said to his father, I am Esau, thy firstborn. I have done according to thou badest me. Arise, I pray thee, sit and eat my venison, that thee soul may bless me.
Okay, so he's coming in and now he's talking to his father, wants to receive the blessing. Okay, go ahead.
Verse 20. And Isaac said unto his son, How is it that thou hast found it so quickly, my son? And he said, Because the Lord thy God brought it to me.
So Isaac's like, man, how'd you get back so quickly? I mean, now I'm not sure how long the time is, but they didn't have like transportation like we do now. So you had to go out to the field, you had to hunt, probably set traps. It takes a while, okay? But Jacob was in there quickly. Well, I'm not saying we know how quick, but quicker than expected. Go ahead.
Verse 21. And Isaac said upon Jacob, Come near, I pray thee, that I may feel thee, my son, whether thou be my very son Esau or not.
So Isaac sensed that something was not right here. One, that he came back with the game too quickly. Two, you could tell your child's voice. Okay, and so it didn't sound like Esau's voice. All right, excellent. All right. Let's go to Genesis. Now we're going to read Genesis 27, 22 to verse 28 in the Hebrew. Genesis chapter 27, verse 22. Wa yagash, ya aikwab, all ya tasahak, aba yawam, wa ya mashawa, wa ya mar, hakwal, kwal, yaikwab, wa ha yadyam, yadya, aishawa, verse 23. Wa la'a, hakayarwab, kaya, hayawab, Yadyawa, Kayadya, Aishawab, Akyawab, Sharaf, Wayabarakhawa. Verse 24. Wayamar, Ata, Za, Bunya, Aishawa, Wayamar, Anya. Verse 25. Wayamar, Hagashad, Laya, Wa'akala, Matazayad, Bunya, Lama'ain, Sabaraka, Napashia, Waya Gash, Lawa, Waya Akal, Waya Ba'a, Lawa, Yayan, Waya Shaf, verse 26. Waya Mar, Alyawa, Yatakahak, Abayawa, the Shah, Na'a, Washa Kwa, Laya, Bunya, verse 27. Waya Gash, Waya Shak, Laya, Waya Rak, Af, Rayak, Bagadyawa, Waya Barakawa, Wayamar, Ra'aha, Rayak, Bunya, Karayak, Shaddad, Ashar, Barakwa, Yahawa, verse 28. Wayatan, Laka, Ha'alahayim, Matal, Hashemayim, Wamashamanya, Ha'aratazah, Warab, the gun, with a Yarash, and that's it. All right, we're going to be reading Genesis chapter 27. We're going to be reading verses 22 through 28 in the Hebrew. In the English.
Verse 22. And Jacob went near unto Isaac his father, and he felt him and said, the voice is Jacob's voice, but the hands are the hands of Esau.
So he's like, this sounds like Jacob, my son. Obviously, Jacob didn't really try to disguise his voice. He just came in there with the voice he had. I'm Esau, Dad. All right, but, or maybe he did, but he still could tell that it was his son, Jacob. But he said the hands are the hands of Esau. Go ahead.
And he discerned him not, because his hands was hairy, and his brother Esau's hands, so he blessed him.
So he really couldn't tell. Okay, he couldn't tell who this was. Go ahead.
Salaki. And he said, art thou my very son Esau? And he said, I am. Verse 25. And he said, bring it near to me, and I will eat of my son's venison, that my son may bless thee. And he brought it near to him, and he did eat, and he brought him wine, and he drank.
Okay, so, and this is how we used to do. When a blessing or a covenant came, in our culture, we would sit down and have a meal. Okay, so this is part of our custom. We would sit down and have a meal. Usually when people made a covenant, they would cut the animal, whoever. They'd have a meal, cut it in half. They'd walk, something had to be cut, and they had a meal together. Okay? Keep going.
Verse 25. And he said, bring it. Verse 26. And his father Isaac said unto him, come near now, and kiss me, my son. Verse 27. And
that kiss, that means a greeting. That was the type of greeting. And there's a precept in that shows how we would greet each other. That's how we greet each other, with the salute. Okay, it was a salute. It wasn't like the Italians, putting your tongue all down somebody's cheek or nothing like that. Okay, it was a type of salute. I was as it's translated over. That's how it was translated over to the English from the Bible being translated. But we can show you some precepts where it was like a salute, how they would greet each other. Go ahead.
And he said, Salaki, verse 27, and he came near and kissed him, and he smelled the smell of his remnants, and blessed him, and said, see, the smell of my son is as the smell of the field which the Lord had blessed.
Right? So that's why when he wore Esau's garments, Esau had a smell to him. Okay, it smelled like the field. You know, it smelled like outside. You know, like when your dog comes in, you know, your dog Bosco or whatever, or, you know, Chicago, whatever your dog's name is. You know, that big dog that comes, he smells like outside. Okay, it's not necessarily the most pleasant smell. Okay, like a beast. And that's how Esau, his characteristics were like a beast. He looked like a beast. He acted like a beast. He smelled like a beast. Go ahead.
Verse 28. Therefore, God give thee of the dew of heaven, and the fatness of the earth, and plenty of corn and wine.
Okay, and he's giving him the blessings that was passed on to him from his father, Abraham. Okay, it was passed on. The promise was given to Abraham that his descendants would have the dew of heaven, the fatness of the earth, and then, you know, and really it's talking about that land, that you're going to have this. Okay, you're going to inherit this. He's passing it on now to Jacob. So it wasn't passed on to Esau. Esau was not that the child that would receive the promise. It was Jacob. Go ahead. Or was that it?
That's it.
All right, we're in Genesis 27, and we're going to be reading 29 through 35. We're going to read that in the Hebrew first, and then in the English. Sorry. Oh, this one. Genesis chapter 27, verse 29. Ya'ibadwaka, Anyam, Waya Shatakwa, Lakab, La'amyam, Hawa, Gabayar, La'akyaka, Waya Shathakwa, Lakab, Vanya, Amaka, Araryaka, Arawar, Wama Barakyaka, Barawak. Verse 30. We're going to verse 30. Verse 30. Wayahaya, Ka'ashar, Kala, Yatazahak, Labarak, Ah, Yaikwa, Wayahaya, Ah, Yataza, Yaikwa, Ma'ah, Hanya, Yatazahak, Abiyawa, Wa'aishawa, Akiwa, Va'a, Matazayadwa. Verse 31. Waya Gum, Hawa'a, Mata'anyam, Wayaba'a, La Abayawa, Wayamar, La Abayawa, Yaquam, Abaya, Waya Akal, Matazayad, Bunwa, Ba'ibawar, Babarak, Tharabakanwa, Napashka. Verse 32. Wayamar, Lawa, Yatazahak, Abayawa, Maya, Ata, Wayamar, Anya, Bunka, Baraka, Aishawa. Verse 33. Wayakarad, Yatazahak, Karada, Garala, Ai, Ma'ad, Wayamar, Maya, Apa, Wa'a, Hawa'a, Hatazad, Tazayad, Wayaba'a, La'a, Wa'akal, Makal, Batarum, Thabawa'a, Wa'a Barakahawa, Gum, Barawak, Yahaya. Verse 34. Kashamai, Aishawa, Ah, Dabaria, Abayawa, Wayataza Aik, Taza Aikwa, Garala, Wamara, Ai, Ma'ad, Wayamar, La Abayawa, Barakanya, Gum, Anya, Abiyah. Verse 35. Wayamar, Ba'a, Akyaka, Bamar Ramah, Wayakwak, Barakaka. And that's it. All right, we're now going to be reading Genesis chapter 29. We're reading Genesis chapter 27. We're reading verses 29 through 35.
Genesis chapter 27, verse 29. Let people serve thee, and nations bow down to thee, O Lord, over thine brethren, and let my mother's son bow down to thee. Cursed be everyone that curseth thee, and blessed be he that blessed thee.
Stop right there. Who also was that told to? I will bless those who bless you, and I will curse those who curse you. Who also was told that statement? Anybody remember? Remember that statement? Remember, that's what the Most High told Abraham when he told him to get out of your country. He said, I will bless those who bless thee. I will curse those who curse thee. Okay? And he's giving him what's going to happen to Israel when we are pretty much set up back as in our land. The nations will come and serve us. Verse 29 says, let the people serve thee, and the nations bow down to thee. And we saw a preview of this in the time of Solomon. Okay, the nations were coming paying tribute to Solomon, and they were blessing Solomon. Okay, all right, and this is pretty much, you go back even into the garden where all things were under Adam, and then all things will be under Yahushua. Okay, this is what's going to happen. The nations will bow down to Yahushua and to Israel. Okay, they'll bow down, they'll serve them, they'll tend to them. They're going to bring the best, and we're going to be benefiting off of their whatever they have. Just like right now, this nation thrives off of our talents. So it's just going to be in reverse. Go ahead.
Verse 30. And it came to pass, as soon as Isaac had made an end of blessing Jacob, and Jacob was yet scarce gone out from the presence of Isaac his father, that Esau his brother came in from his hunting.
So Jacob got out of there. He got blessed and got right out of there. Probably knew Isaac would be back soon. Okay? All right? Verse 31.
Verse 31. And it came, Salaki, and he also had made savory meat, and brought it unto his father, and said unto his father, let my father arise, and eat his son's venison, that thine soul may bless me. Verse 32. And Isaac his father said unto him, who art thou? And he said, I am thy son, thine firstborn Esau.
Now Esau probably knew how to prepare innocent venison, even though he was a different nation. You know how the different nations learn how to cook like us. Okay, that's why you see Kim Sung's chicken in the hood. Okay, because they learn how to cook from us. They take our talents and make a profit on it. So Esau probably knew how to prepare, probably knew how to season the meat really well, because he was brought up in a black household, pretty much. Okay, so he knew how to season that meat. Okay, keep going.
Verse 33. And Isaac trembled very exceedingly, and said, who? Where is he that hath taken venison and brought it to me? And I have eaten of all before thou camest, and have blessed him. Ye, and he shall be blessed.
And the reason he shall be blessed is because, like I told you, anciently, and we need to get back to it, that's why Yahweh said that your yes be yes and your no will be no. When it came out of your mouth, that was pretty much like a contract being signed. Nowadays people say anything out their mouth, no meaning. But in our culture, you said it, you live by it. That's why I think I don't want to misquote the scripture when Yahweh said, you shouldn't be quick to swear by anything or make a vow for anything, because you had to live by it. Okay? That's why you have to be careful of what you say out of your mouth. Go ahead.
Verse 34. And when Esau heard the words of his father, he cried with a great and exceedingly bitter cry, and said unto his father, bless me, even me also, O my father. Verse 35. And he said, thy brother Cain with subtlety, and have taken away thine blessing.
Okay, he was very sneaky the way he did it, and he received the blessing. Okay, all right, excellent. All right, let's go ahead and read Genesis 27. We're going to read 36 through 42 in the Hebrew. Any questions so far? Oh, I thought Naima had a question. I thought she was raising her hand. All right. Genesis chapter 27, verse 36. Wayamar, Hakya, Korah, Shumwa, Yaikwab, Waya Aikwabunya, Za, Ha'anyam, Af, Bakarathya, Laquak, Wahana, Aita, Laquak, Barakathya, Wayamar, Hala'ah, Atazalaf, Atazalaf, Layah, Barakah. Verse 37. Waya'ain, Yatazahak, Wayamar, La'aishawa, Hun, Gabayar, Shemathyawa, Lak, Wa'af, Kal, Akiwa, Nathathya, Lawa, La'aibadyam, got a gun, no, what a gun, what a Yarash, Sama Kathyawa, Walaka, Apawa'a, Ma, Aisha, Bunya. Verse 38. Wayamar, Aishawa, Al, Abayawam, Habaraka, Akaf, Hawa'a, Laka, Abayam, Barakanya, Gam, Anya, Abaya, Wayasha'a, Aishawa, Kwawa, Wayabak. Verse 39. Waya'ain, Yatazahak, Abayawa, Wayamar, Alyawa, Hana, Mashamanya, Arataza, Yahaya, Mawashabka, Wamatal, Hashemayim, Ma'al. It's like Ma'al, verse 40. Wa'al, Kabarabka, Fakaya, Wa'af, Akyaka, Va'aibad, Wahaya, Ka'ashar, Tharayad, Waparakwaf, Alwa, Ma'al, Tazawa'arka, verse 41. Waya Shatum, Aishawa, Af, Yaikwa, Al, Habaraka, Ashar, Barakwa, Abiyawa, Wayamar, Aishawa, Balabwa, Yakwarabwa, Yamaya, Abal, Abaya, Haraga, Yaikwa, Akia, verse 42. Wayagad, Lara Bakwa, Dabaria, Aishawa, Bana, Hagadol, with a Shalak, with a Kwara, Waya, it's like it, Laya Aikwa, Bana, Hakwatan, with Amar, Olyawa, Hana, Aishawa, Akyaka, Matha Nakam, Laka, Lahara, it's like it, Laragka, and that's it. All right, let's go ahead and read. We're going to be reading Genesis 27, 36 through 42 in the English.
Genesis chapter 27, verse 36. And he said, is not he rightly named Jacob? For he have supplanted me these 2 times.
And that's actually what Jacob means, supplanter. Go ahead.
He took away.
Mm-hmm. He took away my birthright.
Okay, because it's erased right here.
Okay, that's right.
He took away my birthright, and behold, now he have taken away my blessings. And he said, has thou not reserved a blessing for me?
And really, Jacob didn't really take away. He sold his birthright. Esau just had Esau now making stuff up. Now he's really lying to himself. He sold his birthright. Go ahead.
Verse 37. And Isaac answering said unto Esau, behold, I have made him thine lord, and all his brethren have I given to him for servants, and with corn and wine I have sustained him, And what shall I do now unto thee, my son? Verse 38. And Esau said unto his father, Hast thou but one blessing, my father? Bless me, even me also, O my father. And Esau lifted up his voice and wept.
And you got to think of the reason why. You know, you got to think of Esau's spirit. Esau would always, this is why Esau hates Jacob. Esau does not want to see Jacob thrive. So the jealousy there, he gets very angry when he sees that, you know, the children of Israel, the sons of Israel start to thrive and receive a blessing. He can't stand that. That's why he becomes violent. All right, go ahead.
38. And Esau said unto his father, Hast thou but one blessing, my father? Bless me, even me also. Salahi. Verse 39. And Isaac his father answered and said unto him, Behold, thine dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth, and all of the dew of heaven from above. Verse 40. And by the sword shalt thou live, and shalt serve thy brother. And it shall come to pass, when thou shalt have the dominion, that thou shalt break his yoke from off thy neck. Verse 41. And Esau hated Jacob because of the blessing wherewith his father blessed him. And Esau said in his heart, The days of mourning for my father are at hand. Then will I slay my brother Jacob.
This is the attitude, okay, of Esau. Esau in his heart, Esau is the attitude that he wants to kill or unalive, Slaki. He wants to unalive Jacob. Okay, and that's his attitude. He wants to unalive Jacob because he does not want to see Jacob receive a blessing, the blessing. He doesn't want Jacob to have the land over there that was promised. He doesn't want Jacob to have dominion. He doesn't want that. Okay? And so that's why he'll unalive Jacob. Especially if Jacob is receiving some type of blessing, he'll unalive him. Go ahead.
Verse 42. And these words of Esau, her elder son, were told to Rebekah. And she sent and called Jacob, her younger son, and said unto him, Behold, thy brother Esau, as touching thee, doeth comfort himself, possessing to kill thee.
All right, excellent. So Rebekah heard it. All right?
Nah, I'm proposing to kill thee.
Huh. All right, let's go ahead and continue. We're out in Genesis chapter 27. We're going to read 43 through 46. And then we're going to jump over to Genesis 28, 1 through 3. Genesis chapter 27, verse 43. Wa'aitha bunya shamai bakwalya wakwawam barak laka al laban akya karana. Verse 44. Waya shabath aimwa yum yum akadyam I ashar tashawab kamath akyaka. Verse 45. I shawab akyaka mumka washakak ashar aishaya lawab washal lakafya wala kwakafyaka masham lama ashakal gum shunyakam yawam akha. Verse 46. With Amar Rabakwa all yatazahak kwatazafya bakyaya mapanya banawaf khaf lakwa yaikwa ashab mabawaf kaf ka'Allah mabanawaf ha'arataza lama liyab chayayam. This is the book of Genesis chapter 28 verse 1 in the Hebrew. Wayakwarah yatazahak all yaikwa waya barak athwa wayataza wahawa wayamar lawa la'a fakwak ashab maba nawaf kana'ain Verse 2. Kwam, Lak, Padana, Aram, Bayata, Basa wa Allah, Abaya, Amka, Wayakwak, Laka, Masham, Asha, Mabanawaf, Laban, Akya, Amka, Salakia. Verse 3. Wa'al, Shadya, Yabarak, Afka, Wayaparka, Wayarabka, Wahayayaf, Lakorhal, Anyam. And that's it. All right, we're going to be reading Genesis chapter 27, 43 through 46. And then we're going to jump over to Genesis chapter 28. And we're going to be reading verses 1 through 3. Genesis 27, 43 through 46.
Genesis chapter 27, verse 43. Now therefore, my son, obey my voice and arise. Flee thou to Laban, my son, Laban, my son, Salaki. Now therefore, my son, obey my voice and arise. Flee thou to Laban, my brother, in Haran. Verse 44. And tarry with him a few days until thy brother's fury turn away. Verse 45.
And think about it. His fury never turned away, really. That's why, and then that's why his descendants have always wanted to kill Israel. Go ahead.
Verse 45. Until thy brother's anger turn away from thee, and he forget that which thou hast done to him. When I will send and fetch thee from thence, why should I be deprived also of you both in one day? Verse 46. And Rebekah said to Isaac, I am weary of my life because of the daughters of Heth. If Jacob take a wife of the daughters of Heth, such as these which are of the daughters of the land, that good shall my life do me. What good shall my life do me? Genesis chapter 28, verse 1. And Isaac called Jacob and blessed him, and charged him, and said unto him, Thou shalt not take a wife of the daughter of Canaan.
Okay. She had the same spirit that Abraham had. Okay? You're not going to take a daughter from these people of the land. Because what has happened, somebody tell me, when they have taken a daughter of the land of Canaan, what usually happens? What usually happens to Israel when they take a daughter of another nation? What do they start doing? When they start going to a daughter of another nation, think of nowadays. Yeah, they'll start going after other gods. They'll start compromising. They'll start saying, well, it's okay, all the gods are the same. Okay? They'll start saying, well, the Most High and whoever, the other gods, they're all the same. We're all serving the same God. It starts to get weird. Go ahead. Verse 2.
Chapter 28, verse 2. Arise, go to Padan Aram, to the house of Bethel, thy mother's father, and take thee a wife from thence of the daughters of Laban, thy mother's brother. Verse 3.
Take somebody of your own tribe, okay, of your own family. Go ahead.
Verse 3. And God Almighty bless thee, and make thee fruitful, and multiply thee, that thou mayest be a multitude of people.
All right, so that's what she's going to make. She said, take of my own family. Okay? All right, excellent. All right, this is the last one. We'll read Genesis chapter 28, 4 through 10. In the Hebrew first, Genesis chapter 8, verse 4. Vayatan laka barakah abraham laka wala zaraika atak la rashafka arataza magaryaka ashar nathan alahayim la abaraham. Verse 5. Vayashalak yatazaha yaikwa wayalak padana Aram, Laban, Bun, Basa Allah, Ha'aramya, Akia, Rabakwa, Yaikwa, wa Aishawa, verse 6. Wayara'a, Aishawa, Kaya, Barak, Yatazahak, Yaikwa, Washalak, Akwa, Padana, Aram, Lakwa, Kaf, Lawa, Masham, Asha, Barakwa, Afwa, Wayatazawa, Alyawa, La Amar, La Kwak, Asha, Maba, Nawaf, Kana'ain, verse 7. Wayashamai, Yaikwa, All, Abayawa, Wa All, Amawa, Wayalak, Padana, Aram, verse 8. Wayara'a, Aishawa, Kaya, Ra'aiwath, Banawaf, Kana'ain, Ba'ayanya, Yatazahak, Abayawa, verse 9. Wayalak, Aishawa, All, Shamai Allah, Wayakwak, Makalaf, Bath, Yashamai Allah, Bun, Abaraham, Akwath, Nabayawath, Al, Nashua, Lawa, La'asha, verse 10. Wayataza, Yaikwa, Maba'ar, Shabai, Wayalak, Karana, and that's it. Right, we're going to read the last one for today. This is Genesis chapter 28. We're reading verses 4 through 10 in the English.
Genesis chapter 28, verse 4. And give thee the blessing of Abraham to thee, and to the seed with thee, that thou mayest inherit the land wherein thou art a stranger, which God gave unto Abraham.
Okay, so she knew of the blessings, and she knew her husband. She knew her husband was the son of promise. So she would have known these things. One, because Isaac would have told her, so she would have known. Go ahead.
And give thee the blessing of Abraham to thee, and to thy seed, with thee, and that thou mayest inherit the land wherein thou art a stranger, which God gave to Abraham. Verse 5. And Isaac sent away Jacob, and he went to Padan Aram, unto Laban, son of Bethuel, the Syrian, and the brother of Rebekah, Jacob's and Esau's mother. Verse 6. And Esau saw that Isaac had blessed Jacob, and sent him away to Padan Aram, to take him a wife from thence. And that as he blessed him, he gave him a charge, saying, Thou shalt not take a wife of the daughters of Canaan. Verse 7. And that Jacob obeyed his father and his mother, and was gone to Padan Aram. Verse 8. And Esau, seeing that the daughters of Canaan pleased not Isaac his father. Verse 9. Then went Esau into Ishmael, and took unto wives which he had Mahalath, the daughter of Ishmael, Abraham's son, the sister of Nebajoth, to be his wife. Verse 10. And Jacob went out of Beersheba and went towards Haran.
And see, here's the thing too. The reason why Esau could go and marry Ishmael and take wives from Ishmael is because really they all really served the same gods. They could compromise. It's really pretty much where Christianity and Islam comes from. Serving multiple gods. Okay, so that's why it wouldn't be strange. Because, they, just take on any god. Okay, and that's the mindset of Christianity and Islam. Take on any god. Or they'll try to say, well, we worship the one true God, but then they'll take on, paganism from different cultures. Okay, Islam has stole, pretty much a lot from the Israelites. But they're saying, we're serving the one true God. Okay, so this is why Esau could fit right into Ishmael. Okay, and taking wives. All right. Any questions about that? All right. Let me see. Okay. All right, we'll go ahead and continue this story next week. Just the people up here. Ay, money! Hold on. Good. Right.
La Yashala.
No, okay. Let's leave it first. Men of Israel, gird up thy loins and prepare to salute the Torah. Yahweh Hashem Yashabrakya.
Yahweh Hashem Yashabrakya.
Yahweh Hashem Yashabrakya.
All right. Let's see. You can go ahead and call it.
Amadi and Wapaya Hakwadam, which means rise and face the east.
This for everybody? This for everybody? Come on. I'm gonna let you read all except probably Psalm 83.
This is the Lord's Prayer, Abanahu.
Abanahu.
Shabbat Shemayim.
Shabbat Shemayim.
Kadash.
Kadash.
Hayah.
Hayah.
Shemka.
Shemka.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Balak Wafka.
Balak Wafka.
Taba'ah.
Taba'ah.
Ratazayaka.
Ratazayaka.
Hayah.
Hayah.
Aisha.
Aisha.
Ba'aratazah.
Ba'aratazah.
Hawa.
Hawa.
Hayah.
Hayah.
Bashamayim.
Bashamayim.
Natan Lanao.
Natan Lanao.
Lakam.
Lakam.
Kol.
Kol.
Yawam.
Yawam.
Wasalak now.
Wasalak now.
Kabawafya now.
Kabawafya now.
Kasalak now.
Kasalak now.
Kabawafya now.
Kabawafya now.
Wala'ah.
Wala'ah.
Tabaya. Sala'i. Tabaya now.
Tabiyai now.
Vanasaya one.
Vanasaya one.
Abal.
Abal.
Hawashaya now.
Hawashaya now.
Mayan.
Mayan.
Rai.
Rai.
Kaya.
Kaya.
Ka.
Ka.
Amalakwa.
Amalakwa.
Wala. Waha'ala.
Waha'ala.
Sala'i. Wahatta pa'arath.
Wahafta Pa'ara.
La awalamia.
Awalamia.
Aman.
Aman in the English. Our Father.
Our Father.
Which art in heaven.
Which art in heaven.
Hallowed be thy name.
Hallowed be thy name.
Thy kingdom come.
Thy kingdom come.
Thy will be
Thy
done.
will be done.
In earth.
In earth.
As it is in heaven.
As it is in heaven.
Give us this day.
Give us this day
Our daily bread.
our daily bread.
And forgive us our debts.
Forgive us our debts.
As we forgive our debtors.
We forgive our debtors.
Lead us not.
Lead us not
into temptation.
into temptation.
But deliver us.
Deliver us
from evil.
From evil.
For thine is the
For
kingdom.
thine is the kingdom.
And the power.
And the power.
And the glory.
And the glory.
Forever.
Forever.
So be it.
So be it. This is Hakat the power. Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Bahashim Yahweh Shah.
Hashem Yahweh Shah.
Baba Kushah.
Baba Kushah.
Nathan Lanawa.
Nathan Lanawa.
Hakat.
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 Lar Pa'ah.
Lar Pa'ah.
Ko Makarala.
Komakar Allah.
Wako Marawa.
Makol Marawa.
Hakat.
Hakat.
Latahar.
Latahar.
Hamatazarayim.
Hamatazarayim.
Hakat.
Hakat.
Lahakwiam.
Lahakwiam.
Hamakiam.
Halak.
Hakat.
Hakat.
Arakakwa.
Arakawa.
Salaki. Arakawa.
Arakawa.
Hatama'ala.
Hatama'ala.
Lagarashan.
Lagarashan.
Bahashim Yahweh Shah.
Hashem Yahweh Shah.
Duwadaman.
Duwadaman. And in the English, Yahweh.
Yahweh.
In the name of Yahweh Shah.
In the name of Yahweh Shah.
Please give us the power.
Please give us the
The
power.
power to heal.
The power to heal.
All manner of sickness.
All manner of sickness.
And all manner of disease.
And all manner of
The
disease.
power to cleanse the leper.
The power to cleanse the
The
leper.
power to raise the
The
dead.
power to raise the
The
dead.
power against unclean
The
spirits.
power against unclean
To
spirits.
cast them out.
To cast them
In
out.
the name of Yahweh Shah.
In the name of Yahweh Shah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So be it.
So be it.
Sar, which means to turn. Here we go. Wait, not yet. You can take that. This concludes the service. Sisters Yeshavium.
Men of Israel, we're going to give the teacher one courtesy salute. Sar, which means turn. Men of Israel, Amadium Shabbat, Amadium, Barak, Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh Shah Barakatah.
Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shah Barakatham.
Yayamatat, Sar, which means turn. Sisters, Amadium. Men of Israel, we're going to give the sisters one courtesy salute. Men of Israel, Amadium Shabbat, Amadium, Barak, Yahweh Shema Alatham Ba'ashim Yahweh Shah. Yayamatat, class dismissed.